What's up, y'all? It's your girl, and today is June 5th, and I am in the park before I start studying. I got my juice here, and a lot of people may be wondering why, like, I'm always outside, but let me tell you something. Being outside in nature has carried me through my grieving journey in a way that I never expected. I've always loved being outside, but losing my mom and being an only child and having an absent father, when I lost my mother, I lost both parents. With that being said, I was destabilized. I also had a lot of other things going on that just continued to compile on me and really try to break my spirit. And with that being said, when everything first happened, I used to just come outside and be out here for hours, just crying, processing, just laying down, sitting in stillness. And it really did help me. And now that I'm in a year later and forever on this journey, the one thing I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is the when you get inspired by your grief, when you have hit the lowest, when you have been destabilized, when you have to rebuild yourself, your support system, there comes a moment where you have a choice. Either you can, and I'm not saying like I'll never cry again, because I'm a big crybaby, but instead of being caught up in the trauma and everything that's happened, I'm choosing my mother's death and her life to inspire me to live fully, to be present, to do things I'm afraid of. And it's the most empowering thing I've ever done. I'm currently working on a lot of different things. And so what I love about social media is you all only see what I post. Like, I got a lot of good stuff going on. I just completed two major goals this week, and I am super proud of myself. And I can't wait to a later date and to share it. But I say all this to say, like, the number one thing I've learned about grief or just dealing with emotions is the power in processing them, truly. When I lost my mother, I was destabilized. Like anyone, like, I was just like, what the heck? And being an only child, I don't think a lot of people understand how even more heavy it is, because I was put in a position where I had to make decisions in the hospital by myself. I still had to maintain my household. I still had to plan a funeral. I still had to do a lot of things by myself, and I didn't have like an extra person to like lean on. You get what I'm saying? Like, now, don't get me wrong, I got a good strong support system now, but I'm saying, like, there are certain things that I can only do, and I had to do it by myself, and that was very stressful. And one thing I learned through that process is that I'm strong as hell. And I also know, like, my mom prepared me for this. Like, I grew up misunderstanding my mom in so many ways. I didn't understand why she was so hard on me, but she was molding me because she knew, this day would come and that I would have to figure out a lot of hard things by myself. And so I'm thankful for the journey. I'm thankful for processing. But the reason why I'm emphasizing processing is because it's easy to get lost in grief. Because guess what? I did. And it took a lot of hard things, a lot of betrayal, heartbreak, disappointment, loss of support system. It took all those things to get me to wake up and to realize, like, hey, you went through the hardest thing alone, and for a moment you might have to rebuild by yourself. And the beautiful thing about grief is that it's inspired me not only to live better, but it's also lowered my capacity. I am a very empathetic person. I'll give you the shirt off my back. I'm a type of person, like, you can ask any of my friends, like, if there's a need, I'm going to do it before you even ask. If you are in my life and I care about you, like, I don't take that lightly at all. So with all that being said, like, what I realized was that in my life, I've overgave to people who didn't deserve it. I tolerated things that I had no business. And I didn't see the value and worth in myself. And I didn't know how to, like, properly defend myself. And so instead of just continue on cycles, my mother's death not only broke me, but it's helping me break all the wrong cycles. So now, like, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. If you do not show me reciprocal love, if you do not follow through with your word, if you do not, just be a kind human, I'm cool. because I now know that I've dealt with the worst. I've dealt with the worst. And so it just is crazy how inspiring grief can be, because it really forces you to wake up. Life is short. If you love someone, stop wasting time. Love on them. If somebody is hurting you, get away from them. Pivot. If there's a goal you want to reach, go get it. I completed 2 goals this week, 2 major goals. And what I love about social media is a lot of people just see me dancing in the park and they think that's all I'm about. Baby, I be making moves, okay? But I choose to share them when I want to share them and at a later date, because I understand, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, real G's move in silence. So I say all that to say this. Grieving is one of the most terrible but beautiful things that can ever happen in your life if you let it. It takes time, it takes deep work, it takes processing, it takes looking in the mirror, it takes removing things, walking away, standing up for yourself, and ultimately choosing yourself to live like never before. And the things that make me sad are, certain anniversaries or certain things. But the thing that makes me really sad is that it took this to get me to this point. And so I encourage you, you don't have to have grief happen in order to live your life. But if you are a person that may just be stuck, just try to embrace everything you learn from your loved one, and just start doing stuff, whatever you want to do. Because what's the worst that can happen? Because I know now, when I take my last breath, I want to die empty. I want to die impacting as many people as I can. And I want people to be like, yeah, she was a time, she was fun, she was smart, and she lived her life, and she helped me. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all, we only get one life. So that's why, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to love people. I'm not afraid to correct myself. I'm not afraid to have accountability. I'm not afraid to pivot, to learn new things. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid. And when I really just think back, because I just was a person that was so anxious and so full of fear all the time. And some people could see through that, but a lot of people thought, I was just talking to a friend 2 weeks ago. She came in town to see me, and we were talking, and I was telling her, about everything I experienced. And she was like, what's crazy? Because this is my friend from college. She was like, Lanice, I always thought you were confident. And I was like, baby, no, that was a false presentation of myself to protect myself, to fit in. But now, with my big belly, with my thin locks, with my thin edges, you can't tell me I'm not the shit. Because that's how deep I went. I went so deep into myself, into my soul, that I love every aspect. I love my crunchy toes. I love my ashy lips. I love everything about me. And so it's just a beautiful thing. The only thing that really sucked is the betrayal through grief that sometimes you experience. But even still, once you deal with that and you look from a different perspective, it's like, damn, I went through all that and I'm still here and I still have my mind intact. And at the end of the day, everything's going to work out. I promise you, everything is going to work out. And guess what? I'm not talking about other people betraying me only. I'm also talking about me betraying myself by not speaking up for myself, by not trusting my intuition, by not just loving on myself properly. So I say all that to say this. Grief is terrible. But if you go through the process, if you go through therapy, if you get the work, if you sit down with your feelings and emotions, baby, it's only up. It's only up from here. Okay? I love y'all. Continue on your journey. Continue to be strong. Hold your head up high. And if nobody tells you that they love you, I love you. And I don't know you, but I love you. Because, baby, we get one life, y'all. Let's turn up. Let's go, grief gang.